I just discovered a massive leak regarding Shibai Otsutsuki, and I don't think I was supposed to find this piece of information. Kijimoto might want to take this video down because what I have just found might just change the way you see this entire series. So it all started after I posted a video discussing how AI gave me 5 predictions of how Boruto could end. The feedback was so good that people wanted me to make a part 2 where I asked it several questions that they wanted to know about the series. The 2 main questions that people wanted to know was regarding the time skip and when it could occur, and the other question was to explain everything about Shibai Otsutsuki. So that's what I set out to do, but it proved a little bit more complicated than I thought at first. Due to the recent restriction on the AI, mainly because it was so good, in the beginning it could literally tell you how to hack into someone's bank and steal their information. It was super good, but they had to put some limitations so that people couldn't get away with theft. However, this also affected the answers that it gave me, as when I asked it questions about Shibai Otsutsuki, it wouldn't give me any piece of information. So I was stuck and didn't know what to do. And this seemed to be a problem that other people face, as in my last video, there were comments saying that they experienced similar problems where the AI just wouldn't answer their questions. But just when I was about to give up on this video idea, this is where Hamza came in to tell me that he had just received some revolutionary piece of information regarding Shibai Otsutsuki. This is what he said. He told me that ever since I dropped the video, he has been asking the AI several questions about Shibai Otsutsuki. This is where he told me that the AI came up with something very interesting. What the AI gave him was a long explanation, so I'll skip to the part that is quite interesting. Shibai Otsutsuki is known for his calm and collected demeanor, and he is a skilled warrior with a strong sense of honor. He is also the elder brother of Tonori Otsutsuki, another member of the Otsutsuki clan, who plays a significant role in the series. Wait, what? Shibai Otsutsuki is Tonori's older brother? How does that even make sense and even relate? How do they even link? This was my reaction alongside Hamza's, and we didn't understand how the AI could come up with this. So he asked it again, is Shibai Otsutsuki Tonori's brother, and how? To my surprise, it said this. Yes, Shibai Otsutsuki is the elder brother of Tonori Otsutsuki in the Boruto, Naruto Next Generation anime and manga series. Tonori is a member of the Otsutsuki clan, a powerful group of celestial beings with exceptional chakra powers. It is not clear how the Otsutsuki clan is structured and how their relationships are organized, but it is known that Shibai and Tonori are siblings and they have significant roles in the series. It is known that Shibai and Tonori are siblings. Who knew that? Did I miss an entire arc of the series? However, it was at that very moment that I became enlightened and finally understood the foreshadowing that had been put in place to explain everything and why it actually made sense. So now let's dive deep into the first step of the big rabbit hole that is Shibai Otsutsuki's backstory. Let's travel back to Tonori's castle, where we see hundreds of weird marks and symbols all around his castle. This is the mark that we see on Tonori's back, on some random puppets, and we also see it in a random rock formation. It is everywhere. We didn't catch on to this because it had no meaning until we saw Ida, as the same pattern that was found in Tonori's castle was also found in Ida's dojutsu. What is that? This is something that a lot of people didn't understand, and it even caused people to come up with theories that Ida went to the moon and made some connection with Tonori and his people. I didn't really agree with this because I found it too outlandish of a theory. But now, when we learn that Ida's powers, except for her love ability, come from Shibai Otsutsuki, it all makes a lot more sense. Knowing that the AI said that Shibai Otsutsuki is Tonori's older brother, it makes sense to why his symbol is all over Tonori's castle, because they are related to each other. This is crazy, and I know I might get a bit of backlash because people might not believe that what I'm saying is true. By the way, here's the entire conversation I had with the AI. But till this day, I am still surprised, as I never expected that it would give me something this crazy. If the AI is actually correct, it might solve a few questions that we had in the community. Like, what did Tonori do to Boruto? He was literally sealed for thousands of years because of what he did. Could it be that Tonori gave Boruto some of Shibai Otsutsuki's DNA just like Amado did with Ida and Damien? It would also explain why Momoshiki says that Boruto has inherited a lot of Otsutsuki powers before he was even given the karma. Me and Kaik were having this discussion on Twitter, discussing how Boruto's horns do not resemble Momoshiki or Fuse Momoshiki at all, but they actually resemble Shibai's a lot more. So now this is the first part of the rabbit hole regarding Shibai Otsutsuki. But before I go on to the next part, I need you guys to remember this. Shibai is Tonori's brother, or at least they are related and have a connection. We have to agree upon this due to everything I have explained and what the AI has told us. The next thing we have to remember is that those who follow Shibai's teachings or are related to him in some type of way have this one crest. This is the same crest on Tonori's back, which is also found in his palace, and it is the same symbol that we see in Ida's dojutsu since she is related to Shibai by having his DNA. These are the things that you guys have to remember before I blow your mind even more than I have already blown in the past. No homo. So when Shibai Otsutsuki was first introduced to the show in chapter 75, I dropped a video discussing the chapter. This is where a bunch of my supporters told me to do some research on Shiva, as they believe that the creation of Shibai was inspired by the mythology of Shiva. Shiva is a Hindu deity who is reserved as one of the primary deities in Hinduism. He is also known as the Destroyer and Transformer, and is also associated with the cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. Shiva is often depicted as a powerful and fierce deity who is associated with the power of destruction and transformation. Shiva is often depicted with a third eye, which is the symbol of divine wisdom and knowledge. He is also often shown with a crescent moon on his head, which represents his role as the destroyer of ego and illusion. In Hindu mythology, Shiva is considered to be a supreme deity and is reserved as a powerful and transformative force in the universe. Now, how does this link to Shibai Otsutsuki? As we can see from their basic design, Shibai does have the same number of eyes as Shiva, and they are also connected through the crescent moon symbol that is found in Tonori's castle. But it is quite interesting that Shiva is known as the Destroyer, because if you pay close attention to the war in the moon, you would know that there were two sides, those who wanted to preserve Earth and those who wanted to destroy it. And guess what symbol they used? Guess what symbol the ones who wanted to destroy Earth were using? They used the same symbol that is connected to Shibai and Tonori, the crescent moon symbol. This makes perfect sense, especially because Shiva is the destroyer and also has this symbol. This also proves what the AI is saying, as Shibai definitely has a link to Tonori due to the crescent moon symbol. If you thought that's what I mentioned when I said that it would blow your mind, you are wrong. This is just the beginning, so let's continue. So right now, we have established that Shibai Otsutsuki is derived from Shiva, a Hindu god. This god has the crescent moon symbol, the same symbol that is found all over Tonori's castle, linking him to Shibai, which also strengthens the claim that Shibai is Tonori's older brother. Now, if you guys have paid close attention, you would realize that Shibai is just one of the deities, meaning that there are other deities and other gods who may be just as powerful as he is or even more powerful than he is. So who are these gods? To find the answer to this, we have to dive deep into the Trinity. The Trinity is a concept in Hinduism that refers to the three primary deities who are responsible for creation, maintenance, and the destruction of the universe. These deities are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and are also known as the three forms or the three aspects of the divine. Brahma is the creator god and is also associated with the creation of the universe and all living things. He is often depicted with four heads, which represents the four Vedas and the sacred texts in Hinduism. Vishnu is the preserver god and is associated with the maintenance and preservation of the universe. He is often depicted with four arms, which represents the four directions and the four elements. Shiva is the destroyer god, and we already know about him, but together they represent the cycle of life and the interdependent nature of the universe. And this is a central concept in Hinduism. They are revered as the ultimate deities and are seen as the source of all power, knowledge, and wisdom. Now, some of you guys might point out that Shiva and Vishnu are in conflict with each other because one's job is to destroy and the other one's job is to preserve and maintain. Doesn't this conflict remind you of something? Doesn't this remind you of the war in the moon, where one group wanted to destroy Earth and the other group wanted to preserve it? This is very interesting because although we do not know too much about the people who wanted to preserve the moon, we know what their symbol is. And would you be surprised if their symbol is the same symbol that is used to depict Vishnu? You think I'm lying, right? Look at this, it is right here. These signs are the same, and do you know what it implies? It implies that there is another Otsutsuki god who represents Vishnu, just like Shibai Otsutsuki represents Shiva. This is crazy. The lore of Otsutsuki is mind-blowing at this point, but there is even more to discuss. The main question that some of you guys may have is if Shibai is related to Tonori and those who wanted to destroy Earth, why didn't he come and do it himself? It is a good question, but it also has a simple answer. He is too strong. What type of answer is this? I know this is what you guys are thinking, but let me explain. It is just like in the Cold War. The US and the Soviet Union were too strong, and if they battled, they would destroy the entire planet with their nuclear bombs. So instead, they didn't have an all-out war, but instead, they had proxy wars where they would support countries in order to advance their own interests and ideologies, and didn't have to fight and destroy the entire world. They would just fight using these countries. For example, the US supported anti-communist forces in countries such as Vietnam and Afghanistan, while the Soviet Union supported communist and socialist movements in countries such as Cuba and Ethiopia. This is the same thing here, as Shibai and the other god related to Vishnu are doing the same thing. They are supporting their own ideologies. Those who want to destroy are supported by Shibai, and those who want to preserve are supported by the god who is linked to Vishnu. Because if Shibai and these gods fought, they would easily destroy this multiverse. But there is even more, but I don't want to make this video too long. So you guys have to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, as there is a lot we can uncover with this new piece of technology. As we have already uncovered the ending of Boruto, and if you want to know how the story will end, watch this video right here.